Hello and welcome to YHTV's Flowing into Awareness with visionary and master intuitive Anatara. I'm Christina Suzuma, your host of this program. Today's topic is My World is Not Flat. What a great title. And with us is the beautiful Anatara.
Hi, Christina.
Hello, Anatara.
I'm very glad that your
I know
your
my
world
nose
is not flat.
but not my world.
Well, I don't know what about me is flat. Not my feet. Definitely not my nose. I don't
know. We can compromise.
Well, we can. I was having a discussion with a friend about the realities that we live in. And is the world flat? Is the world round? Is there one planet Earth? Is there more than one planet Earth? How do we know? And we can be so convinced about something, such as the world being flat, because of what the general, consensus is, because of what people tell us, because in the old days, what the church told us. But what if, excuse me, what if I can say, no matter what is being provided to me through information around me, that my world is not flat? My world is not an unhappy one. My world is not miserable and full of fear and hatred. Maybe the power of our beliefs, through which we filter everything that we see and have and do, can be what becomes reality for us. And when we get to the collective, 10% of a given population or 10% of a group of people having a particular thought, maybe those morphogenic fields really do and really can shift things. And I've been noticing, recently with, things happening, outside there in that crazy world that we live in that beautiful world in which we live, where there is a consensus of thought in different cultures and different countries about what certain people need. For instance, if we talk about the refugee situation, we may all have ideas about those poor people or those dangerous people or those people in need, or I would like to help with those people. And what happens when a number of us gear into a consensus of idea that we come to on our own, perhaps, or that we pick up in each other's fields of influence and perspective? What if, as we tune into that broader perspective, many things can change? And what if, when we're feeling particularly unhappy or down or morose or out of it, we start to notice what filter we're projecting on whatever it is that we're doing or thinking and feeling, and notice whether that can shift something for us. And I know that for myself it can. When I am in an uplifted and joyful state of being, or even when I'm just in a peaceful contemplative state of being, the things around me take on that perspective as well. And it becomes really obvious that my perspective is the one that I am adopting in everything I see and say and think and feel and do. This is a common theme for me to speak about and around the way of perceiving and being and moving within the realms that we do. I think that there's a lot of consciousness changing going on. I see it everywhere. And I see it in, some of the countries that are now joining together with the new environmental perspectives and ideas that many of us hope they can master and maintain as we do as individual countries, hopefully. And of course, there's still a lot of rhetoric, and of course, there's still a lot of misunderstanding about what it means to come together as a whole planet, as many communities, to create change. And as we change our perspective about how easy that might be or how difficult that might be, I am already noticing that many people are actually feeling hopeful hopeful for the world, hopeful for the earth, hopeful for each other, hopeful for themselves, because they see that some sort of consensus of care can happen even for planet Earth. So, what are how do we fashion our world? What beliefs do you use to create the perspective that you see things through? And how do those perspectives allow you to flow, to be a part of, and to see what else is going on out there? I have also noticed that as the world communities come together to create big change, or even just to think about big change, that there is it's almost like a beautiful eruption of collective consciousness, which is saying, we are doing this. We can do this. We can set aside some of the things that don't seem to work and that make us feel fearful. And we can choose individually and as groups and as countries and as Earthkind to make some big changes. Have you felt any of this sort of expansion lately?
Oh, yes. Because I believe that in possibly my area of awareness, Anatara, you know that there's so much fear that has really come into the world recently with what is happening in Syria, what has just happened a little while ago in France, and then right in my state of California, which is only an hour away from me, where we had the terrorist act that killed many people and have left many families without parents, etc. It's home. It's where we call home, and you can feel the effect it has on people. There's a lot of anger, a lot of fear. It's like, and to be able to flow through this time when so many energies are right at that edge, there needs to be in ourselves that state of awareness to change that perspective.
Exactly. Exactly.
If not, we join that collective.
That collective that says the world is flat.
Yes. And it's not easy for many to change because of the fear. And it is a very fear-based society that we do live in because of the commercialism and the society itself that has created that. So I do resonate with you when you say there are those out there that have the other perspective, which is that positive, the whole other outlook. And I do believe also there is more and more individuals who are turning to that instead. The peace, the balance. And they're just stepping forward.
And the secret really is to allow yourself to know what you are feeling and what you're believing underneath or behind that fear. Because as you let yourself see whatever that is, you realize that the fear is actually superimposed upon who you are. And the fear is and the hesitation to feel safe and to act and to be inclusive and to let yourself be included is sitting there right at the surface, only slightly obscured by the perspective of fear. And of course we're going to think we're under attack. The news tells us that. Our hearts sometimes tell us that because we are so scared. And what if we step up and say, I would rather believe that I am safe. I would rather believe that there is a collective consciousness. There are a great number of people who are coming together, who already are together to support each and every one of us. And as the substance of that shift happens, I know that people feel their hearts expand. And I know that they start to hesitate and sort of do a little pushback when the fear starts to rise. And to me, that's where we're at. Finding the places where we can push back the fear a little bit, find the depth and resilience and love inside, and decide to make our choices based on that.
Lovely. Very nice. Very nicely said, Anatara. And I am right with you on that. It is finding it within ourselves as an individual.
Exactly.
And then one drop is 1,000 waves. And it will emanate to the next person that we're close to. And if it doesn't, that's all right.
They may not be ready, whatever.
Exactly. So it's like, but it will emanate forward. Like this episode, whoever listens to this might go, oh, really? I can do that? Yes.
Well, I'm even noticing that as you and I talk about this, my heart has shifted. You know, the energy around me has shifted. The energy in this room has shifted. It's all expanding gently and safely. I feel very much warmed and seen literally by the energetic space around myself.
Lovely. Very nice. Well, thank you very much, Anatara, for this beautiful moment into awareness. And of course, we would like to thank each and every one of you for joining us in this new platform of education and information. We're grateful for your continuous support, and we look forward to hearing your feedback on how we can serve you better. You can also connect with Anatara by following her on Twitter at Anatara, and of course, through her own website, anatara.ca. Anatara.ca. We always love your comments and suggestions. Please type it into a comment box on the screen, or if you're on a mobile device, you can always give us a call at 818-LETS-TALK. 818-LETS-TALK. We look forward to sharing with you again next time. Namaste.
Nothing to hide. It's actually, I'll get into that. I was going to say, when I give speeches, that's one of the first things I tell children who are newly diagnosed is, diabetes type 1 is a livable, manageable, great disease because you have this whole awareness into food and what it does in your body. And so having that awareness is, oh my gosh, it's just a tool that you can pull out at any time